With me now is Amanda. Amanda, you are a FarmHER, a rancher in your own right. You grew up in the industry. You hail from the state of Kentucky. Go into that a little bit and talk about what it meant growing up the way you did and being a female in the industry.
Yes, so thank you for asking. Growing up in Kentucky, it was one of those great qualities because we are right in the middle of horse and bourbon country, which is what people think about when they think about agriculture in Kentucky. But we are actually the largest cow-calf producing state east of the Mississippi River. So growing up in the industry, it was really interesting because I am a third generation there. My dad, he is a cattle dealer. He also has his own background in steers. So whenever growing up in FFA and showing cattle, my SAE project was actually backgrounding cattle. And it was one of those I never realized being a female in the industry how different it was until, this is a side story, I was going for Star Farmer for our area, and I was running an SAE project, and I was running 3 loads of steers on grass, driving around telling everybody what I did on that farm, and I actually did everything on it myself. But they said, you know what, you're not going to be our Star Farmer because your dad backs the money, and that it was not your project. And I said, how is that fair? Because it was other boys who had maybe just about 10 steers were the ones who backed it up. But they didn't believe that I could do it.
Wow. And I'm sure, though, looking back, obviously that's a part of your story and where you are today. And we kind of look, through our timeline, I know, being in this industry, and there's a lot of men who, promote and support and help you just like your father did, and empowered you, and you never probably looked at it any different being a female. But it's instances like that you were like, I got to do things a little differently.
Yes, no, for sure, because one of the things that I've tried to do in Kentucky is actually advocate for our industry, encourage the youth, encourage the kids, like get out there, start showing, voice your opinions. But then whenever I get involved in our local state organization, I'm trying to encourage the women. I'm like, let's go. I'm the only young female sitting at the table at a lot of those meetings. I'm like, we need more female voices. I will be there. Yes, you might have my kids in tow, carpet farming behind me and raising a ruckus, but you actually have to be involved and participate. You cannot, whether you're a female or a male, you can't expect just people to come up to you and say, hey, would you like to be on this board? You have to volunteer yourself and say, I believe in this. I support this. Let's bring in some new ideas. Let's branch out a little bit and help this industry flourish, because the average age of the farmer is not getting any younger.
Nope.
And in Kentucky, we are more 5 to 9 farmers as opposed to 9 to 5 farmers. We have the majority of our cow-calf herd is only 27 head is our average. So, I mean, our fields are small, our farms are small. So we really need to branch out to those younger farmers. And a lot of it are the females and the females who get involved.
That's so interesting as well, but great advice right there. Having a seat at the table, speaking up, and using your voice for the betterment of this industry. We're here at NCBA. Obviously, you've put yourself at the table in industries like this, in organizations such as NCBA. What advice would you give anyone at home, any female that's watching, to just make sure that they make it known that they want a seat at the table?
I think that the best advice you can give to anybody is to be educated, is to first join the membership and be involved, but also be educated. Instead of just showing up and walking around the trade show, and wearing a cowgirl hat and having fun, but show up to the meetings, ask the questions, learn something about it, actually be involved, but educate yourself, because there's so many cool things that go on here. There's policy updates. There are global, export-import meetings. There's actually the Cattle Fact seminar that's going on right now. Us as women, we need to be involved and know the numbers and know what's going on in the industry, because we're the ones who pay attention to that. We're the ones at home that are keeping, the everything running. We're doing all the grocery shopping, the couponing, whatever it needs to do. But I see it in our home that the farm and household all work together, because that's how we make our living. Yeah. So you have to be able to know those numbers and where we're going to be.
Well, I know you're a FarmHER, you're a rancher, and you're raising the next generation. So thank you so much for your contributions to this industry and for empowering women, especially when they watch this. They know that they can speak up and have a seat at the table.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.